The Scottish National Party have been warned by authorities that they would be losing a huge chunk of their public funding. Why? Well, let's get into it. Okay, the SNP drama continues, and this channel will keep you guys posted as usual on a daily basis. This is about the financial corruption, the whole saga that we've been discussing over the last couple of weeks. It feels like it's been years now we've been discussing it. But the issue with political parties is that on top of their membership fees and revenue that they have, and obviously all the donations and everything else, they also do get taxpayer-backed funding, depending on obviously what sort of chambers they have their public office holders in. For example, the House of Commons, you've got Holyrood, the Scottish Parliament chambers, and everything else like that. And the issue with the SNP is that they lost their auditors 6 months ago, and they only announced it a couple of weeks ago. And they've been saying that we can't find new auditors. No accounting firm wants to touch us because we are so toxic. So the authorities have now warned the SNP that they will be losing £1 million in public funding, taxpayer funding, over the Auditors Gate, as I like to call it, because they can't find new auditors. And the issue with this is that they've given them a deadline, and there's a logical and legal deadline for this issue. And I have a feeling that the SNP might not be able to hit it, considering the date. So the party's Westminster group, which relies on money from the Commons authorities to pay staff wages, needs to find new auditors by the end of May. So they only have about a month and a half, basically, a month and 2 weeks to avoid a cash crisis. The SNP Westminster leader, Stephen Flynn, is facing questions about what he knew and when about the situation, and what he will do now to end the chaos. So the SNP, who are losing members right now, and they're losing their normal party revenue, imagine if they also lose this £1 million taxpayer-funded package for the people in Westminster. They're going to be in a lot of trouble because they're going to have to use their existing budget from SNP headquarters to pay the staff in Westminster, and they're going to run out of money very soon. Obviously, they can also try and find new accounting firms, and they can do it. It's just that so far they've struggled. I'm not really sure if they're struggling because no accounting firm wants to touch them, or they are not actually looking, but now they have to be because they are now under pressure. So this is the official text from the Commons authorities saying that as soon as practicable, but no later than 2 months after the 31st of March each year, which is basically 31st of May this year, a political party claiming financial assistance under the provisions set out at paragraphs 2.1 and 2.11 above shall furnish the accounting officer of the House with a certificate of an independent professional auditor in a form determined by the accounting officer, to the effect that all expenses in respect of which the party received financial assistance during the period ending with that day were incurred exclusively in relation to the party's parliamentary business. Basically, they said you have until the end of May to find new accountants, otherwise we're not going to give you your money. The £1 million, which comes from the taxpayer's wallet. So I'm actually quite in favour of the SNP struggling to find new auditors, because why should we fund a dodgy political party? Now, the SNP in Westminster, which pay their staff for their staff, research and travel for the SNP's 45 MPs, had an income of £1.5 million in 2021. Around 2/3 of which was so-called short money. Now, this is state funding given to all opposition parties in the Commons with 2 or more MPs, which is quite interesting. I like the mechanism, but of course it could be taken advantage of depending on the party and politicians. So, one worker from the Parliament establishment told the Scottish Daily Mail, the situation was really worrying, especially if you think colleagues could be made redundant because of the mess the party is facing. No one seems to have been told that the auditors had withdrawn their services back in October, by the way, October 2022. Everyone is kept in the dark. Now, even the Scottish Labour's Ian Murray wrote to the parliamentary authorities about the alarming situation, and sent a series of questions to Stephen Flynn, who is the leader of the SNP Westminster group. But we're still waiting, of course, for Stephen Flynn to respond properly and see if he actually has any plan to pressure Humza Yousaf and the executive committee of the SNP to find anyone at this point, basically anyone would do. Surely someone in your political party, one of your members or donors or whatever, I don't think you can actually use the donors as auditors, but somebody would know someone who could be an independent auditor. Clearly, they can't right now. But I have a feeling they might actually find someone, but they have a month or so left. Let me know your thoughts about this story. I'm Mahyar Tousi, and we are the media.